All right, here I was working on a 2024 Chevy Colorado, and I was doing the front brakes. And I just want to make a quick rundown video on what needs to be done and what I did to make this job a little more easier on me. Now, this car is 1 year old, so I did just cut the rotors and bought new brake pads. That's the part number for the brake pads, and it does come with brake pads and a new clip and a new spring, but it doesn't come with slide pins or the little clips that hold in the slide pins. So it is a 4-piston caliper on this one, and then the first thing I took off was take off these little clips that hold on to the slide pins to make sure that they don't fall off. And then I took off this little bracket. This is on the driver's side that is held in by a 10mm bolt because it does get in the way of one of the caliper bolts. And I disconnected the brake pad sensor right here. On the passenger side, it doesn't have the sensor, and I don't think it has the bracket. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to remove this spring clip that holds in the pins. You could just cut them off, or if you're gonna reuse them, you could just like press on the center of them and then try to take off, one of the ends. Because what ended up happening to me was when I was pushing out these slide pins with like a thin punch, the spring actually puts a lot of pressure on these slide pins, and it makes it harder to punch them out. I just decided to cut the old spring because it did come with new springs. Then I removed the 2 bolts for the caliper, which are 21mm. And if you're trying to do just the pads, you still have to take off the caliper because on this inner pad, this bottom squealer gets in the way and it won't allow you to remove it. So be aware of that. And then once you take out your bracket, you could take out this inner pad with the sensor on it. Now once you're here, you can push in your pistons with your piston depressors, and then you're left with your rotor, and that is it does have a screw on there, hold on screw, which is a T30. And that's pretty much it for removal. You can start cleaning everything. And then once you start putting everything back together, you got to put in the inner pad with the caliper first, and then you can screw down your caliper. Because like I said, you can't put in this inner pad from the front. You have to put it in from the back with the caliper because of that squealer. And then for the caliper bolts, I torqued them down to 133 foot-pounds, and then I did put in some red thread locker. I think that's what it was when I took them off. I think they were red. Then I slid in my outer pad, which you can do, and then I put this spring on them. And then the spring goes inside these like little hole. And then I put in the slide pins, put the clips for the slide pins, and then I put in at the bottom this trident spring. I put it at the bottom first, and then at the top you can see that it has a long ways to like travel up. So what I had to do was I used like a big pick to pull it back, and then with my other hand I pushed really hard to get that spring over that pin. I pushed in pretty hard, but at the end it did kind of like snap in, it clicked in. And once I figured this trick out, it made putting on the other spring on the other side way easier, way faster. And then I took pictures of before and after on the other side, and as you can see, it looks pretty similar. And then you want to make sure these like side prongs are below these like tabs on the brake pad. That's how it's supposed to go. And then once you finish and you go back inside your car, it actually detects that it has a new brake pad, and you just want to go up, press yes, and then it'll still say that only for the first time. But once you go here to vehicle status, it'll say brake pad life 100%, and then you turn it on, turn it off, it won't say service brake pad monitor anymore. So if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll try to help you out.